We are going to get started. YouTube is live. That's what I was trying to get to work. It wasn't working, but it's working now. All right. So, welcome to World Changers with Smaller Brown, the Disruptor. I am bringing you thought provoking, mind shifting wisdom. Grab a notepad, pen, paper, pencil, and prepare for a paradigm shift in the next 45 minutes. You guys, we have something huge happening and I don't want you guys to miss it. That's what we do. You know, we shift with the cosmos, we shift with the spiritual realms, we shift with the galactic cosmos, dimensions, everything. And God has given me some insight. I want to do a quick update in this as well. There's a lot going on, you guys, in the realm of the spirit. So we're gonna start first with the CERN update. Okay. I don't know how many of you, how do you want me to do this, Lord? Let me see. Let's do this. Growth and expansion. Okay. We have a new month and it's upon us, November 25th. I want you to mark your calendars. If you're in World Changers, your calendar should already be marked. The next month that's coming is Kislev. So we'll definitely have our month prophetic calendar that you'll have in the app that'll help you to understand what's going on, what to expect, the warnings, and all of that. But expansion and growth is what I want you to expect. Okay. Growth and expansion in areas that you're least expecting. I want you to write that down. It's in the areas that you will least expect it. It's not going to be what you think. It's not going to be what you've prepared for. And that is okay. I want you to understand that that is okay. Why? Because that's how our God works. When he goes big, when he does major, it's not always in the area that you think you've prepared for, but there's a reason for that. Okay. He does that because we would put our hands in it, we would meddle, and he doesn't want us to meddle. So I want you to write that down, that you're going to expand and grow in the areas you least expected. That doesn't mean the other areas are not. That just means more so those areas. The catalyst in your gifts. We just talked about that. Those in the World Changers app, we just talked about that. Your gifts, the catalyst for your gift is here. And everyone knows in science, everyone knows in those chemistry classes what a catalyst can do. The power of a catalyst. The catalyst for your gift is here. I want you to also write that down. The catalyst for your gift is here. The growth in your gifts. Okay. Your gifts are growing tremendously right now, and they are heightened. And many of you are dismissing them. We need you to stop. Okay. Stop dismissing your discernment. Stop dismissing your thoughts. Stop dismissing the small things. If I dismissed every small thing this week, I wouldn't be where I am right now in the Fab 40 competition. If I dismissed every small thing in my life, in my dream world, in my woke life, I would not be standing here right now. I could go back to last Thursday when my son got hurt. If I dismissed all small things, do you know my son got hurt last Thursday and not one person spoke negative over him? Not one person was able to speak what they thought. God blocked every negative, even the doctor we saw, even the ER room we went to couldn't speak over him. He blocked it because nobody knows what's going on in there. Catch that. It's your knee. Okay. He blacked out. He woke up. He was on the ground. I came running and his knee swelled up 10 times the size. Nobody knows what's happening in his knee. X-ray shows no bone, no fracture, but the swelling was so excess. People had idea. People were looking at it. But anyone of authority, hear me, anyone who had authority over him could not speak what they thought. And those who were wise enough, who thought something but knew about the power of their words, did not speak. Those are small things that we miss. When you are preserved and protected in this new season of expansion and growth, he is going to preserve you. He's not going to allow certain people to speak over you. He's not going to allow certain things to manifest and happen the way they usually do. And there's a reason for that. Okay. So in this season, your angels are going to do more than just be there for you, carry you to your destination. They're going to be there for support. They're going to fill in the gaps. Okay. The angels are filling in the gaps, literally filling in the gaps. I just gave a testimony that I'm not going to release on here. If you're part of World Changers, it's in the app. You can go listen to it at your leisure. I just had it about 20 minutes ago. I talk about how angels are filling in the gap, how they are supporting. You can go catch it on there. Now, the expansion will find you. You don't have to go looking for it. You don't have to go looking for what you think you're going to expand in. Okay. That's not what this is about. Your expansion will find you, and you may not look at it and say, okay, your expansion is going to find you. And when it finds you, you're going to possibly look at it and say, I'm not ready for that. Like I did with Fab 40. If I go back hindsight, when that thing scrolled on my Instagram, I said, nope, not doing it. Whatever excuse, whatever reason I had, I said no. But because I'm of God and I know I don't make my own decisions, hear me, I said, wait a minute. I said no, and I meant no. But I also said, but if this is something you want me to do, you'll bring it back across my page, because I know how hard it is to find something that's an ad. So when you want it, when you don't want it, it's all up in your face. But when you do want it, you can't find it for nothing. Well, at least for me. So, excuse me. What I'm saying is your expansion, I said up top, is going to be in areas that you least expected, starting in November, the end of November, November 25th, when we enter this new month. Okay. It's going to be in areas that you least expected. And then I just said it's going to find you. Your expansion is going to find you. Your expansion, you're going to look at it and say, I don't think I'm ready for that. You have no idea what you're ready for and what you're not ready for until it finds you. I want you to remember this. It's okay to say no, but you also got to be reminded of who you serve and that your life is not your own. And that's how I quickly said, well, if it's of you, bring it back. And he did. And now look, I'm number one heading into the finals. Okay. Like I said, your angels will support you to make the correct decisions. The help of angels, the influx of angels on this earth is mimicking the influx of demonic activity on this earth. I need you guys to remember that. There's so many angels on this earth right now, from smells to sensations to things that you hear, things that you're seeing out the corner of your eyes, the blurb, the blobs that you're seeing, the actual angel that you're seeing interacting with. I need you guys to understand they're here to combat what's also here. That's why the support is so great right now, because God is not going to allow the demonic kingdom to win by outnumbering us. All right. There's more for us. And he says that, but do you believe that? You've got to believe that in this season. The angels are here to support you. They're going to do things that you leastly expect. I cannot release what I released in the World Changers. He's not allowing me to. But when I say the things that my angels have done to secure things for me, you will be flabbergasted. Your mind will be blown. And all I did was say, angels, I need help. I'm calling on my angels. You're still calling on your early rain. I hope you haven't stopped. If you're still calling on your early rain, I need you to continue. Don't stop calling the early rain. We are in early rain all the way until February. That's how much seed you should have sown up until now, that you are calling on your early rain. And I call on my early rain all day, every day, in the area that he tells me to, in the areas that I feel led to, not just what I want. Okay. Totally expect certain areas to shock you. Okay. It's time to recognize that growth hurts and it's stretching. Totally expect your areas to be a shock. This is in conjunction with growth and expansion in areas you least expected. Okay. This Fab 40 competition that I'm in, the areas that I'm growing, I can't even put my finger on it. But we're elevating right now. In about an hour, they'll say that Somali Brown made it into the finals, the quarterfinals. I'll take that. Finals, done. This is elevation. Every 7 days, there's been an elevation period. And this is just a competition. But God has used it to accelerate me, you guys. When I say accelerate me, the things that He is working on in me would have taken years, and I know it. Would have taken months, seasons at best to get out of me. Every 7 days, someone gets cut in this competition, and every 7 days, He's increasing my faith. He's increasing my spirit. He's increasing my belief. He's forcing me. That's the stretching, and it hurts. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't. There are some things that I had to face, and I was just like, what is that? Just 2 days ago, I reached out to a friend and I got up and I spoke over myself. I did what I knew, but I knew I hadn't done enough. I could feel it. It was still lingering. You know how you could just still feel the negative energy, or you could still discern that you didn't get the root of what was making you have an off day. So I reached out to a friend and she said, "Don't you dare give up now. Don't you dare get exhausted." All from a voice note. That's why it's imperative that you have the right accountability around you. My friend knew from my voice that I was getting weary and tired. She knew that I needed those words. I didn't ask for them. I thought I did my job. I thought I looked in the mirror. I thought I said what I needed to say to myself. And I did. I probably got 80% of it out. But when I sent her the voice note, she said, "Don't you dare get exhausted. Not now." And that's what many of you need to hear. That's what many of you need around you. If you don't have someone around you that when you call them, they can be like, "What's wrong?" You have the wrong accountability around you. If you can pick up the phone and mask a hurt, hello. If you can pick up the phone and mask a pain, and your best friend can't pick that up, you got the wrong best friend. I'm telling you right now. Because any person in my circle, any accountability partner, which I have them in different stages, and World Changers Inner Court, you about to learn how to put them in different places. I have my encourager. I have my soft-spoken accountability. I have my multiple. And I know who to call for who. And I know which one I need to talk to. And then I have my friend that's just like me. I'm a pusher. Don't call me if you want sympathy on certain things. Just don't call me. They know that. Don't call me if you want me to co-sign something that you know is wrong, because I will not co-sign it. And I expect the same. If I am off my game, if you hear my tone and it's off, or if I'm going down a road and you know I'm not supposed to go there, your job as a friend, as a woman of God, as my accountability partner, is to check me before I keep going. But I shouldn't have to ask. So if you don't have that in this season, you need that. I have at least 6. And we don't talk every day. You don't have to talk every day. Well, I don't do that either. You don't have to be on my phone all day. If it's that season, it's that season. But there's moments that we don't talk at all. And then there's moments that we talk 10 times a day because we need one another. But that friend literally sent the voice note back and checked me. And I said, it was like she checked me and pulled the hook up at the same time. It was gone immediately. I said, "Oh, okay, that's done. On to the next." Literally, because that's what you need. So, like I said, I'm going to recap. November 23rd. That's the wrong date. What's going on November 23rd? Hold on one second. November 24th. Why do I have the 23rd? November 24th at sundown is the new month in the Hebraic calendar called Kislev. You're going to get your prophetic cards. You're going to get your prophetic calendar before then if you're part of the World Changer membership and you're part of the World Changer Inner Courts. You will get the blueprint for this month. You will get what's going on. I'm giving you a precursor because we need to prepare this shift. I'm liking this shift. This is what I'm feeling. This is exactly what I'm feeling, you guys. If any of you are a dancer, because I know you're mostly dancers, which is the same as an athlete. I'm going to say athlete, but if you're a dancer, if you played basketball, if you ran track, and you were on the bench, if you were a dancer and you weren't the best dancer and they pulled you up, that's the kind of shift that's about to happen when November 25th hits. Whether you sat there and twiddled your thumb, or you sat in second place on that bench and warmed it, or you got your butt up and you practiced knowing that at any given moment, your name is going to be called. That's the mentality going into November 25th. At any given moment, your name, your number, whatever is going to be called, and you better be ready. There is no time to say, I need to check the playbook. There's no time to say, well, wait, where do we turn? You should have been practicing those turns and that choreography. If you're a singer, you should know the lyrics. When you are a stand-in, when you are waiting for your turn, you need to have everything in order. As an athlete, we know that. I'm a standby. I don't even remember the word anymore, but I'm an alternate. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for the 4x4. Guess what? I got to practice with them during the week. Guess what? I run the 2 and the 100, but he's going to make me practice the 400 and more so that when my name gets called, not if, because someone's bound to get hurt, someone's bound to be sick, something's bound to happen. And you got to prepare for that. So when we're at a track meet or at a soccer game or at a dance recital, guess what? You got to warm up with them. You can't go in cold. They can't say, do a turn, and then she falls and then say, oh, it's your turn. And you're like, I didn't warm up an hour ago. No. This is the mentality going into November. This is why I'm doing it now. You have a whole week to get your life together. You have I didn't say things. I said life. I said mindset. Your name is about to be called. December is a shift. I always call December to remember from at least 4 years ago. Whatever he's about to do, you are about to be pulled up. You're about to look at it and you're going to say, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But I'm warning you, if you prepare your mind right now, if you prepare your heart right now, you will be ready. You don't even have to know. Don't worry about that, because I know the people that follow me. Don't worry about what it is. That's not your business. Don't worry about what it could be. Not your worries. Just prepare for anything. Prepare for anything. There are some people who played the field and they played all positions. They ain't know what position they were about to go in. If you prepared for anything, you'll be ready when anything comes your way. Okay? Now, the warning. I want you to write this down. Don't run back to comfort and familiarity. Don't run back to comfort and familiarity. Do not do it. You know what comfort looks like. You know what familiarity looks like. I'm going to just be honest. At first, I was just posting, and I'm cool with doing videos when I want to do videos. Kind of not when I'm told, but that's the disruptor in me. That's my dad's side. That's the rebel trying to rear its ugly head. So my assistant and some of my friends who are helping me with the fab competition, kind of changing things up. I told you when I did the video on my healing with cancer, I bucked. Because I'm okay with writing a note. I'm okay with just giving a voice note. They were like, no, now you got to do a video. And I'm just like, ugh. I had a choice. I could stay with writing and posting, or I can do a video. Or I can be comfortable. But I'm going to tell you one thing, you don't ever grow in being comfortable. I can tell you one thing, you cannot be great when you're comfortable. because you're relying on the old, you're relying on you. So, the warning for this month coming up, November 24th at sundown, don't run back to comfort and familiarity when he's stretching you. When I say expansion, I'm talking stretch your tent. I'm going to talk your language. Stretch your tent pegs wide, right? I'm talking that language. I'm talking you do your part. Let me see. Hold on. I need to say this. I'm talking you enlarge your place of your tent. You stretch your tent curtains wide. You don't hold back. You lengthen your cords and you strengthen your stakes. For you will spread out to the right and the left. Your descendants will dispossess nations and settle in the desolate cities. And I know y'all know that scripture, but I had to make it personal. Isaiah 54:2 for those who don't know, but I know many of y'all know that. Because not once did he say, I will stretch your tent pegs. Not once did he say, I will stretch your curtains wide. Not once did he say, I will not let you hold back. I will lengthen the cords. No, no. He said, you. That's this season. You stretch your tent pegs. That means you get down on that floor, pick up that tent peg, stretch it as far as you can, and hammer it back down. This is your job this month. Don't say I didn't warn you. Do not say it didn't happen. Do not say that this is not a word that is true if you don't do your part. If you don't prepare to be expanded and stretched. Okay? Now, let me tell you something about stretch marks because a lot of people always ask me, I don't have any stretch marks. I've had 3 babies. I have not one stretch marks. Okay? Hey, and the reason why I have no stretch marks is because I asked the doctor, I'm very, very diligent on a lot of stuff. I'm not perfect, but I'm very diligent on a lot of stuff. And I said, how do you get stretch marks? They say your body expands too fast. Hear me. I'm going somewhere. Your body expands too fast and the skin stretches, rips. See, we don't know that. It rips to keep up and it stretches apart. I said, how do you stop that? Because I don't want that. And she said, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's the weight gain. So she told me you can only gain 25 pounds. Not only, but that's what I heard. She said, a pregnancy, you should only gain 25 pounds with a single baby. Okay. That's exactly what I did. And I went in there and I gained weight steadily each time I went for a visit. It was 2 or 3 pounds. She was so amazed. She was just like, I ain't never seen this. I said, well, I asked you what I need to do. When you tell me what I got to do, I'm doing it verbatim and some. All 3 pregnancies, I literally allowed myself to eat. And when she said you gained, one time I gained 7 pounds, I nearly had a connection set. I said, oh no, whatever I ate last week, she started laughing. She said, but you have enough room. No. I'm going to tell you right now, be very careful as you stretch, because if you stretch too fast, there's implications. Okay. This is a very, very important word, and I need you guys to hear me. As I'm talking, some of you guys are getting ideas. Some of you guys are hearing or seeing or feeling the Holy Spirit speaking to you in the areas that you're going to be stretching. Okay. And some of you are probably bucking, and some of you are probably feeling some kind of way. That's the area. It's not in the area you're going to expect or even want to stretch. I'm just letting you know that right now. It's not in that area. You're just going to have to deal with it or you're going to be left. And I'm not speaking that on you. I'm just speaking facts. Okay. Number 2, don't run to stagnation. So the warnings are don't run back to comfort and familiarity. And number 2 is don't run to stagnation. You've been stagnant long enough. But see, the problem is we get comfortable in stagnation. If you were told to leave that job and you've been stalling, if you were told to move and you've been stalling, when the movement comes, you're going to run back to being stagnant and procrastinating and delaying things, not on purpose, but on purpose. Don't do that. You will forfeit it. God don't have no time to waste. Not that he ever did, but have you not noticed time is speeding up? Have you not noticed that things are moving quicker? Have you not noticed? My son even said, since 2020, seems like time is faster. Time is speeding up. Something is coming. Something is happening. You better get in position. And I'm just here to warn you. I'm just here to sound the alarm. That's what I do. I'm a sound the alarm type of person. Okay? So we're not running back to stagnation. When you say, "Oh, I need to get a box," go get that box. When you say, "Oh, I need to pack this up," pack it. And when you think of a packing, if he's telling you to move, I don't know, maybe somebody on here, it's time to move or unpack, whatever. Whatever you think of in the realm of the spirit, whatever you think of in your heart, do it immediately. You have power in that. There's an anointing in that, and you don't know what that's letting off in the realm of the spirit. Let me explain that. As simple as go get some boxes and pack up may sound. It's a prophetic act. And God is a God of decency, order, and timing. If he told you on Monday, whatever, what was this Monday? Monday, the 14th at 1 o'clock, you heard, go get some boxes so you can start packing. And you didn't go get it. You missed something. See, we don't look at those little nuances. Those are the small foxes that ruin and destroy the vine. You don't know what was on the other side of that obedience. You don't know what was on the other side of grabbing those boxes. I told you guys about 2015. Yeah, 2015, my friend said, your house is here. My house has been here. I've been fighting for my house because I'm not even going to go into that. But my house has been here. She said, go start buying stuff for your house. So I said, well, what do I buy? And the Holy Spirit showed me. And I bought a stone pizza. The things that you put in the oven that to make pizzas, because my kids love making pizzas from scratch, home, all kind of pizzas. And I bought it. And not even a year later, my house came. A house came, because I have more than one. One of my houses came. Let me say that. And when I realized it, I was just like, oh, snap. It was that act of obedience. Now, it took a minute, not even long, a year. But if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have a house. Okay. And I knew they were connected because he showed me. You guys are missing blessings upon blessings because you're not obedient. He's on here now. Bits with Love Universe. He said something the other day. He said, your obedience, your fruit of obedience is beautiful because you listen. I will never, ever, ever forget that. In the small things is far greater than the big things. And you got to start being obedient. If he told you to go get that wedding dress, but there's not a man in sight, go look. I did that too. I bought a wedding dress before my husband came. And guess when he came? Maybe 6 months later. It was summer. And we got married a year later. See, I do those things. I do little things like that. Go test drive a car. And guess what? 5 years later, my husband gave me the same car I test drove, not the same make and not the same model, but the same make. That's how obedient we have to be. Did it make sense at the time? No, but then I was just like, yo, I really got a BMW given to me. You said you would, and it was my husband. But I had to do something to get it. That's this season. I need you to start listening. Listen means to listen, to hear, to repeat, and do again. Listen means hear, obey, repeat. Hear, obey, repeat. Okay? So the first warning is don't run back to comfort and familiarity. Don't run to stagnation. 3, don't look back at the people. Okay? Let's see. Don't look back at the people. You will want to run to you will want to run back to the known, which is very similar to comfort. Okay? Even if it's horrible, instead of going towards the unknown. You have to go towards the unknown this time. There are so many of us where the unknown, quit your job, Take out your 401k that is so foreign and unknown that you never did it. And he told you to do that. Go get a wedding dress. Go look at a venue that is so foreign and so horrible to think, because you're like, well, what if she asked me where's my husband? And what if she asked me when's the wedding day? I don't have the answers to that. All God said was go get a dress and go get a venue, and your husband would have appeared. Some of you, he said, go start buying baby clothes. I'm telling you, you are without the blessing because you are not listening. You have to be obedient. And worrying about when it comes is not your business. Worrying about how it happens is not your business. Your business is be obedient. When you are obedient, blessings follow. When I tell you, I do whatever God says. I had a moment in time where I used to do it kicking and screaming. He even got on me about that. There's many of you under the sound of my voice that do it kicking and screaming, and he's tired of that too. It's time to mature. I'm gonna tell you, like he told me, enough with that kicking and screaming. You're not a babe anymore. If your 15-year-old, every time you said clean your room, did what they did when they were 3, stomped their legs and ran into the room and slammed the door, what would you do? You are 15 years old. Boy, if you don't stop. Sorry, someone put a laughing emoji on YouTube. Seriously. But just think of how grown you are right now. And age is not the issue. But think of how grown you are and you still stomping at God. You are still kicking and screaming to be obedient. And it's for your good. It's for your blessings to be able to manifest from the spirit realm. You guys stay in the church, sit in the pews. They give you word after word after word, but no fruit. I don't do that. I don't do that. If I'm not getting fruit, it's time to move to another tree. It's time to move to water something else. Something ain't working. We got to go. I need to see fruit in a season, in a perfect season where fruit should have appeared. 3-4 years, that's a long time to not see one single fruit, even though it's a different timing. Okay? So, basically what I am saying is expansion is going to hurt. Expansion is going to require you to not go back to comfort. It's going to require you to be in a mindset like the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, but this is just my language. That fourth quarter pain. If you know what I'm talking about, just drop a 1 in the chat, drop a 1 in YouTube. The fourth quarter pain. The last part of the dance. You've sung about 3 songs and your voice is now tired. I'm talking about you've preached for 3 hours, laid hands and delivered about 10 people. He's used you. I need you to raise your hand if you feel me. I'm talking about that type of pain, that type of uncomfortable, that type of I am ready to quit. And God says, nope, keep going. Nope, I want you to go even deeper into this uncomfortable pit. Next month, November 25th. This is why I came on early, because you have a week to get your mind ready. What is your prayer life going to be like? What is your mindset going to be like? What is your self-talk like? Thank you, YouTube, for dropping the ones. What is your self-talk like when you're in that moment? When you're so tired and you're at the point of exhaustion to where you want to give up? What is your self-talk? Are you still talking negative? Are you talking, I'm out, I don't want to do this no more? And God keeps showing you, no, you're not done. No, ma'am. No, sir. And you're still speaking because he's going to give you what you're speaking. In this season, you have to speak the opposite of what you're seeing. If you want what you have been waiting for, you have to speak the opposite. I learned that in this competition. I learned that as long as I keep speaking, you showed me the end and I believe the end, there's nothing that can go wrong except me removing myself from that belief. What are you believing God for? That is so hard for you to even fathom that he can do it, which nothing is hard for him. You say that all the time, but you don't believe it. You don't believe it. You can't believe it because if you did, you would act like it. It's time to start acting like you belong to God. Many of you don't. Many of you, you have people watching you and they have more faith than you. They have to keep telling you, hey, keep your head up. Everything's going to work out. We all have our moments, but it should be a moment. Now, your light has become more dominant than your human form. And this is not for everybody. Okay? Your light has and will become more dominant than your human form. If you only knew since CERN, and I'm going to give a CERN update, just not today. I started with that, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that on another day. If you only knew how many different entities, beings are now relevant on this earth, people that you are interacting with, people that are attaching themselves to you, you will understand what I'm saying. Your light has become more dominant than your human form, and it needs to stay that way. The moment the opportunity comes in December, it will catapult you and thrust you years ahead to where you should have been from old detours. I'm going to say that again. The moment this opportunity, whatever it is, you guys, appears and you move in it, it's going to catapult you, thrust you years ahead to where you should be from old detours. Now I'm going to pause right there. What is it, 11:42? Because you guys hear these words all the time. This is nothing new. You guys hear these words all the time. Let me tell you how to war with this word. And I might just stop here and see if anybody has any comments or questions or anything. I'm going to show you how to war with this word. I'm going to show you how to make sure this comes to pass. Because yes, accepting it is great. Yes, claiming it is amazing. Yes, that's my portion is even better. But what are you going to do when you get off of this call? Those of you not in the inner course, because many of you in the inner course should already know. What are you going to do when you get off of this call? What are you going to do with this word 5 days from now? What are you going to do with this word when December 1st hits? When you get a prophecy like that, the moment this opportunity comes, it will catapult you, thrust you years ahead to where you should have been from all the old detours. You say that daily. This is what it should sound like. When my moment comes, when this opportunity that's going to catapult me and thrust me years ahead from where I should be because of these old detours, I thank you that I will see it. I thank you that I will be ready for it. I thank you that I'm not missing it. Every day you say something about this word. See, you guys receive it and then you leave it. You put it on the shelf. No, you don't think there's thieves? You don't think there's demonic entities that are watchers, recorders that'll come snatch that up and speak the opposite and make you speak the opposite? You've got to speak it until you see it. Now you've got to go envision it. You got work to do with that word. And that's what most of you don't do, which is why all or most of your prophetic words fall to the ground. You have to war with that word. And war is not always bad. You say it all day, every day. Guess what you're going to start seeing? You have been chosen. You have an amazing opportunity in your inbox. You take those words and say, I sure do. I have an opportunity and it's on its way and it's going to catapult me and thrust me years ahead. I have been chosen to be catapulted and thrusted years ahead. Do you see where I'm going? Then you're going to go to Instagram and they're going to say, you're going to be the first one in your family that's a millionaire. You are darn right. I am the first one in my family. This opportunity to be the first person in my family to be a millionaire will catapult me to thrust me years ahead. That's how you war. There's nothing bad about that. War is not a bad word. It means fight with. It means make sure you win. You war with that word. And then it's going to start showing up on Facebook. And then it's going to start showing up in real life. When it shows up in your real life, So digital is just like spiritual in a sense. It's a whole nother realm, but it's the same because it's in that realm. But when you go by a billboard and it says you've been chosen, you're the one, you see the word catapult, you see the word thrust, the same words in it, that means it's slowly coming into the natural. You keep warring with it. You keep speaking it. You keep praying it. You keep commanding it. Sooner or later, you're going to see the entire thing in your face, in the spirit and in the natural. The digital is going to keep saying it. Next thing you know, you're going to be, if you're looking for houses, let's say it starts with houses, you're going to see this is your house. Your email is going to say you've won a new house. May not be true. You open the email, it has nothing to do with it, but it's what it said. You won a new house. Okay. Now all of a sudden you have a realtor. Now all of a sudden you looking at houses. Do you see the progression of events? All because you didn't just sit on yet another word. It's time out for just sitting on a word. The word is the moment this opportunity comes, it will catapult you and thrust you years ahead to where you should have been from old detours. I think I'm going to end there. Does anybody have any comments, any questions? I still have a little bit to go. I'll just do a part 2 because I think that's enough. What's today? Friday? I'll probably come back on Monday and give a part 2. Let me write that in my notes. Part 2 to expansion and growth. Anybody have anything they want to add? Raise their hand. Any questions about warring with this word? Don't let them slip away. I'm telling you, with the Fab 40, when he showed me the end result, that's all I'm seeing in my inbox. That's all I'm seeing. For those of you in the inner courts, you saw what I showed you just today, about an hour ago, if that. That is because I've been warring. You can't just war one day. You war until that thing is in your hand. You got the keys. You got the ring. You have the baby. You have the building. You war until it manifests. You don't just sit there. What are you doing? What's your part? What are you adding to it? God's word is always conditional. You do this, I do that. Cause and effect. Let's see. She said, I have 10 alerts to add. Absolutely. That's why alerts are, and you go through the old ones. If you have a whole bunch of alerts, if you go through the old ones, if they're not relevant, just mute them. Don't delete them, just mute them. Or if you're doing it the other way, if you have a sheet or a book of alerts, just say read page 2 or read alert 50 to 100, whatever. But yes, absolutely. Add your alerts. War with this, okay? I'm preparing you guys for November, the end of November. Huh? What? Okay, I'm coming. I'm preparing you for the end of November, the beginning of December. All right. So there's no questions, and I've got to go. I got to go take care of my little man. So you guys have an amazing day. Expansion part 2 will be Monday. I'm assuming, I think I have the days, but just as long as you're following me, you'll know when I go live. Thank you guys so much for following me. In about 20 minutes, we will see that Smiley Brown has made it to the finals. So there's 3 rounds left, you guys. Continue to vote, continue to vote, continue to vote. I'll pop the link up real quick. I'm coming, Savion. I'm gonna pop the link up so that you guys never mind. It's actually up now. Somalia Brown is a quarterfinalist. Hey, which we already knew. But you will be able to vote shortly. So I don't know if this link is going to work. What'd you do? I don't know if this link is going to work to be able to vote, but thank you for voting. Thank you for naming your seed. And we start all over again. So you guys have an amazing day. And I will talk to you guys later. Keep shifting with me. Click the link, and you guys have an amazing one. This room is closing in 3, and the stream on YouTube is closing in 3, 2, and 1. What happened, buddy?